struggling for power in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under. Tell me, Lord, how long do my people have to suffer? Oh, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, and I'm a fighter. Yes, I know I'm gonna have to fight on for my total freedom. Yeah, oh yeah, all right. No. Don't free my hands and leave my mind in chains. Don't say I'm free and you still washing my brain to do the things that you want me to. I've got a mind of my own. I'm gonna do what I want to do, 'cause I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter, and I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Yeah. Oh yeah, alright. My song, you like it? Would you come and sing along? Yeah. Oh yeah, alright. No. You give me work and make me slave all day. Yeah. Then you raise your prices high to take away my pay. Why you do it? My eyes are open and yet you think I can't see all the wrong things you have done and are still doing to me. Makes me a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah, alright. Oh no. Oh yeah, alright. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Those lands you own and live in luxury, and you pretend you don't know they belong to me. By fraudulent means you took them away, but you better get ready for the price you have to pay. 'Cause I'm a warrior and I'm a freedom fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Oh yeah. Alright. No. Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Is everybody alright? How can everybody be alright? Think about the people starving in Ethiopia. Think about my brothers struggling for power in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under. Tell me, Lord, how long do my people have to suffer? Oh, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior. from the Trinidad. Location 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. SOS, SOS, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Help. Help. The Trinidad, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea with an old captain named Eric Williams. Oh yes, it's smooth and free, but sadly Eric Williams passed away. The ship hit rough water that day. Someone turned the bridge over to a captain named Chambers. Me blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I sail a fall. Captain, this ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, we gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know, we don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa. The Trinidad, oh, she was a beauty with wealth that few surpassed. And in her day, she sailed majestically. There were few in her class. Faithfully, she fulfilled her sailor's need. Some were overpowered by greed, and so they pilfered slow. Some took by bulk and go. Now she looked dull, she's at a lull. She could barely sit on her hull. Captain, the ship is sinking.
How things going? Were you able to pay your bills? How the sugar pan looking? How the milk pan looking? Okay, I don't find a shadow there for me, but I think it's shadow. Poverty is hell. I think it's shadow. Yes, yeah. Milk pan empty and what dry and yeah. See if you find a shadow there for me, but we will play that sometime. Today, ladies and gentlemen, you know, someone called me today and they said to me that pressure and more pressure. And of course, I would not try to tell you any different that, you know, things is looking up, because as a matter of fact, Jeffrey, everything seems to be going downstream at this point in time. No matter how high we raise our heads, we are not seeing the horizon at all. Yeah, it seems like we're down in the gutter and we're going further down the valley. You know, sometimes you go further down the valley and when you tell yourself that, look, I think I have far to go, when you check and you understand what is happening, you are so far down and yet you are still, you still have so far to go. And that is what it seems to be like under this government. It seems as though that we are heading down the road and we just keep going down, and like there is nothing, like there is no grip, no where you could try to stand. If you try to stand, you're skating. When you skate, you run, you fall, and for some reason there is no way back up. And what is wrong? What is going on, Trinidad? What is going on, Trinidad and Tobago? You know, Sunday we was in library with our fortnightly cookie. This Sunday we went back to a heavy chicken pilau with heavy dry peas, you know. Yeah, and we had a nice crowd, a nice cross section of youths, and some senior citizens was among us. As a matter of fact, some senior citizens started to speak out, something that you would not see happening in library. And that was a very good sign. The youths on the block, actually, we went on the block, Corky, and the youths came out and they participate, and we had some meaningful discussions and so on. And, you know, we are looking to chart the way forward. Coming out of that, you know, one or two other people make contact and they want us to have some meetings and so on, you know, so we could discuss what's happening. But let us not forget to send out condolences to Blacks, the man himself. I know my senator did a good job yesterday. I listened to him, and he did what he had to, you know, do what he had to do. So so we want to send out condolences. Of course, sometimes death, no matter how the Alsing allow it to happen under the pandemic, you know, you still doesn't get accustomed to it. Yeah, you still don't get accustomed to it, you know, and that is...
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's a direction that we all have to go one day, Corky.
Yeah.
Our date is already set. Yeah, our date is already there. And when that day reach, every day we pass is a day closer to that date.
Remember a movie, show long time named Dateline?
Right.
Yeah, Dateline.
Yeah. So when that date reach, you're not going to cross that line at all. So condolences to the family and rest in peace, my brother. Of course, as I said, you know, it's something that we will not get accustomed to, but nevertheless, it happens. So Sunday was good in Labray, and next 2 weeks we'll be there again, and so on and so on and so on. But what is happening with Paria and this investigation with the divers? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening with this this commission of inquiry, who ought to inquire into the circumstance as to what really occurred on that fateful day? What is going on with the team, the foreman team that Rowley appoints to look after the COVID-19 situation? What is going on there? What's happening there? You know, I saw Rowley speaking, he responded to a question from a reporter, and he said that, you know, as soon as we get these reports, you know, we will report to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, we'll report to you.
So why would he say who dead?
Well, you see, it seems as though that what is happening in this country is that when it's another government, the report come immediately. You know, welcome, caller.
Hello, good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
How you going?
I'm fine, sir.
Right, this is a call from Tobago East.
Tobago East. Welcome, Tobago. Nice to have you in the house.
There you go.
I'm watching something on my phone here with Kitaway. Some Baptist thing.
Right.
All you go watch how the man the head now. He head good? For a prime minister, I find him acting like a child.
The man say, wait, he ain't done yet, you know. You want to sing a next song, but like he can't find the note for the song.
That man, I know that man the head good. He knows what I need. You ever go on national television, because I think on the phone, singing Baptist song and telling he ain't done with he yet. Who he ain't done with? What, the money that he take from China to be go bury him? It's time for the guy with that man, he will scrap, not to be good, but he will scrap his heart, you know. Because I find him stupid for a big man, that child action he going on there with.
Yeah, he mocking with Mark the other day, and then he have Faris. No.
That is child think for a prime minister, you think for a prime minister, and why you step down, it was burying him. Why you step down and somebody else take over the country?
Yeah.
You know, Kamala never used to do all them stupidness there.
Yeah, no joke.
Kamala never used to do them stupidness, and she's a lady, and she act like a lady, and she act like a prime minister.
Correct.
This man is not thinking at all like he thinking shoes. In he put the shoe left to right. The blind mouse because he put the shoe left to right because the action there is a person with the shoe left to right.
Yeah, the
So
man is
when
an
you're supposed to do the right
embarrassment.
thing, when you're supposed to do the right thing, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And when you're supposed to do the wrong thing, you're doing the right thing. So he wearing his shoe left to right and he wearing his clothes back to front. But look, I don't know too much Baptist holiday. I wish all the Baptists of Trinidad and Tobago and the whole world, I wish them a pleasant day tomorrow and all the best.
Thank you, caller.
You have a pleasant night
Thank
and
you,
enjoy
sir.
your holiday tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and same to
All
you.
right, you're welcome. Man.
Yeah. Well. Take this one time before we get to the gist of things. Welcome, caller.
Well, good evening, Victor. Good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
Kokibi. Good evening to the listeners. Well, the early bird catches the early worm, right? I'm a dramatist. I work with a lot of young people in schools and things in drama. I know acting, but I'm glad I didn't train this man in acting because everything is showing up. Because when I train them and they're on stage, the slightest mistake when him lying, I just know it. Yeah, as a seasoned director and writer and actor. Now, I'd like to know now, he has a terrible voice. It needs to be tuned maybe with some honey. Was he singing for his supper or was he singing for power? And then another thing to this other one. Why did he change his name? Is his name a disgrace? Well, all remember, gang leaders, criminals, all it's about alias. Is his name a disgrace? Is it embarrassing? What is the purpose of you changing your name? Whether or not it is that is the name a family gave you. Whether it is bad or good, or how you look at it, you should hold on and try and make it better. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you, caller. Well, the actor, the dramatist, the man himself. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Keith Christopher Rowley knows exactly what he's doing. Keith Christopher Rowley is a strategist. Keith Christopher Rowley is using what is necessary not only to divert what is happening in this country, but also to catch the attention. Good night, caller.
Good night, this Silver Fox Tobago.
Fox up then.
I day. And pleasant holiday for my Baptist brothers and sisters tomorrow, and hope all have a pleasant day, and may God go with you all and myself. I would like to say something, please. Now, on Friday, I called into a program, Hot Like Pepper, and I made my contribution, and a proper contribution. And all what I said was that if all the NPs could come together and we come together and get rid of Rowley, because I said on the show, I said Victor is trying, the ground report is trying, but they don't have enough, the kind of boots they want. They want 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. Now, I said we want a leader. And so that is why I use that statement to say we want the senator. Right? And this girl just keep on hitting me whole night until she even say I mess up the Bible because I talk about Moses. I don't understand how I mess up her Bible because what she said, she was even wrong with Kongs. Then she said they went to the wilderness for 40 years and all that. That is wrong and all. And she called me a bubbly. She had one of my bubbly calling she show. No, I am not a bubbly. I rather being dead and buried in my grave than to be a bubbly for she. I'm telling you that. Right? And you just can't, the whole show after that was Silver Fox, Silver Fox, Silver Fox, Silver Fox. I am a loyal person to Camilla. What is it? Since I am radio talk show, I have never speak Camilla bad. Camilla did plenty for Tobago, and I don't know if she want to divide Tobago from Trinidad. Because I call my people and them and they come and they listen to it. And all asking me, why is she attacking you like that? Because they don't see nothing.
Yeah.
And Corky is even trying to stop her from even going that far. And don't care how we stop her, she's going back to it. Like she tripped. She tripped on me.
Yeah.
Right? And I am not a bubbly to that. I am not a bubbly. And the way and the thing she says is not right. And I want this to be corrected today. Because all over the world, people hear that I said this and I said that and I didn't say that. I never say Moses take anybody in the promised land. I said two. Joshua from the River Jordan, Joshua take the young people from under 20 to the promised land because all the old people they die out and she didn't know that. Right? And I don't know. The whole program was me. Let me go and march. Let me do this. Let me do that. You forget Rowley. Rowley was a good man than I. Let me tell you something. I am an educated person. I'm a spiritual man. I'm a shepherd. I know my Bible. I don't talk what I don't know. I don't have to show off with what I could do and what I can't do. I don't do that. I'm a plain man. I come out here fighting for justice for Trinidad and both Tobago. My fight is I want Rowley out of power and Camilla in.
Yes. Folks, right now I like blacks are breathless.
Right? My mother got sick that same night watching she and how she blushing me. Right? I just give she tablets last night because she told me turn it off. I tell she I'm not turning it off. I want to hear this girl out. Because I never see a radio host take up to blast a person's whole, like how she do me. Maybe as I'm a Tobagonian. She said she was in a campaign and when she come home and put on she pajamas and go back out. If any woman for me come home here and put on pajamas and go out the road, they'll be out there.
Fox.
Yes.
Hold up there a little bit.
Yes, right. Okay?
Right, yeah. Hold up there. So, let me take it from this standpoint. First to begin, I was listening to the program. Right? I was listening to the program. Added to that, somewhere along the line, I believe that there was a misunderstanding somewhere along the line because I was listening to the program. I probably come off the program about 15 or 20. I come off the program after the senator speak. After the senator spoke, I came off the program and went and do some, because I had some studies doing, so I went and do some research on, because I had an exam coming up to do Sunday night. So I believe it's a misunderstanding, first of all. But secondly, douglAR Radio is a team. The people who call into this program, we treat them with respect until anyone go over the line. If you go over the line,
yeah, like in racial remarks.
Right. What we do, we cut you off. We cut you off, right? We go over the line, we cut you off. Everybody have their own way of dealing with things. I am very much conscious that I am on douglAR Radio, and therefore I do things according to the standard that is set out on this program. Added to that, there is also some callers and some text stars who say that we all on one team. But it seems as though to me that some people wait for us to Fox, you could come off. You could come off and you could call back after because I want to deal with this. Yeah, I want to deal with this. Some people believe that some people, Corky,
Yeah.
while they say we are on the same team,
Right.
it appears as though that they wait for something to happen to create more fire than to open the extinguisher.
Oh, okay.
Right? I have noticed that on a number of occasions, and it tells me something. It tells me it speaks volume because when some people will say that we ain't taking no call until I finish this topic.
Yes.
When some people will say that we are on one team, and yet when something happen, instead of the extinguisher come on, what you see is people will be texting and adding fuel to the fire, and because I was watching and reading some texts on that same situation where some people find that Fox didn't acknowledge
Yes, and he just have his radio on, but
the
you see
lady and
his radio
right.
doesn't be disturbing
But
us.
while that is so cocky, my point I'm making is that the same people who saying that we are one team and let us not divide ourselves
Right.
is the same people who will add fuel to the fire instead of opening the extinguisher.
Okay, yeah.
You understand?
You have to be calm.
Sometimes everybody may not be in the best of frame of mind.
Yes.
And sometimes everybody may not deal with a situation as how it ought to be dealt with.
Right.
But there is what we call flexibility. There is situations where flexibility will have to come in. There is situations that some people may go overboard in dealing with a situation. There is situation that some people may get angry. All that is possible. But at the end of the day, all of us have to remember that we are on the same team.
Right.
And when we are on the same team, what we do, we are big and able enough to put aside differences. I remember, let me share something with you, Corky. I remember that me and Jeffrey had done some things which I wouldn't mention throughout the pandemic. And based on what we did some things because we were definitely and still dissatisfied with the numbers of deaths, the way in which the Alsing dealt with this COVID situation, and not only the Alsing, but the government on a whole. And I and Jeffrey took certain decisions, and there were people who believed that we should not have taken those decisions. And my position was quite clear, you know. My position is what determines who opinion right and who opinion wrong, because at the end of the day, all it is opinion. It's your opinion versus my opinion. And what make your opinion right and make mine wrong, and what makes what make mine right and yours wrong. All right. So as I was saying, we are a team, and if we are on the same team, in the dressing room, I was a goalkeeper. I played for Point Fortic Civic Center, Benedict Soul Boys. I play a lot of football.
All right. Okay.
And even when I was called for the national team, I think I gave the story already, how we was too poor to come in town and train every time. But in the dressing room, Corky, there, boy, you making joke. Jeffrey, people will cuss you. According to my little son, Daddy, the cussing stink. People will cuss you stink in the dressing room. The coach will, well, Anil could attest to that. The coach will cuss you stink when he give you an instruction and you ain't follow the instruction and you're lost.
There's a private thing when you're dealing on the media, on the networks.
Right, so I come in there.
Yeah.
So the coach will cuss you stink in the dressing room. But guess what? As soon as you come out on the football field in the public, nobody knows that the coach just cursed you in the dressing room because he calling on you. Yes, Victor, come across, pass the ball, send it down the wing, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to say this afternoon that all of us, all of us have to know that we are on the same team. And when you're on the same team and occasions arise and you You may very well be upset with situations because, Corky, don't fool yourself, you know.
Yeah.
I just be mad with situations also, you know. I just be very much mad with situation, but there is a place, a time to deal with it. So, Fox, what I'm saying to you, Fox, today, is that these things will happen.
Yes.
And you are a big man, you are wise. Matter of fact, I heard you a while ago say that you are a shepherd, much educated in the spiritual realm. And these things will happen. And what all of us have to do as these things occur is that first we of our own self have to understand that sometimes you just have to forgive, and sometimes you just have to allow things to blow and not blow it up.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to allow things to blow and not blow it up, because sometimes when you blow it up, you cause more damage than good. And added to that, Corky, sometimes there is things that you must not correct on the station.
Oh.
So I don't know if you get me there.
And then it has some things we would not say on the stage.
Right. So what I'm saying to you,
On the air.
so what I'm saying to you,
I wouldn't show you that I'm angry and so on the air.
So what
speak to you nice.
what I'm saying to you is that this situation, I will not attempt to deal with it on the air.
You did it privately.
If it have to be dealt with, it must be privately, because as I said, all of us is on the same team, and therefore things will happen, and when things happen, there's a forum and a place to deal with it.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is what I will say on that situation.
Right.
I will not ever tell Marsha, Anil, Archie, or anybody how to conduct their program.
Okay.
I will be out of place. Right?
Yeah.
But what I will do, is that I will take cognizance of all the programs. I will look at the strengths of the programs. I will look at the weaknesses of the programs, and I will learn of the programs.
Yeah, well, I'm learning a lot too, since I've never been connected to politics like this. Since operating the board, I'm an operator here. Yes.
So, Fox, put that under the carpet.
You deal with that, yes, my brother.
I ain't want to put it under the carpet now. Sweep it outside and let the wind blow it away. Take that call. Take that call.
Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night, Mr. Victor.
Good night, ma'am.
And Corky.
Yes.
Good night.
I just call I hear too, you know.
Now she called me.
Oh, all right, good.
Who is up?
Jeffrey.
Yes, I said, did you say hello to Mr. Jeffrey?
Yes,
Sorry,
you did.
Mr.
You did.
Jeffrey.
You did.
Alright,
You
no
did.
problem.
You
You
did.
have to let it pass and go, right?
Yes, of course.
Apology accepted.
Sometimes in life, things don't go right sometimes, but we have to make a pass over it. We have to let it go and forgive that person, whoever do anything or say anything wrong. We have to forgive them and forget it and move on with life.
Of course. Beautiful contribution.
We have to forgive and we don't have to talk about it. So, you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And I think, Mr. Fox, whenever you call, you must low down your radio, please. I checked, I had, you know what I mean?
But the feedback.
Yes, the feedback very loud. It's a feedback bad. So I think, Mr. Fox, try and low down your volume in your phone. Not the phone, the radio, sorry.
He could lower the radio down because you can't lower he down, you know. When he started to talk, you can't lower he down, but he could lower the radio down.
We just hear the radio in the background, but it don't be loud to say like the thing, so we don't really, you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
But we know Fox have our audience listening on the outside to his
What I'm trying
You
to
see,
say,
Fox
the
does-
listeners will get the feedback.
Fox does have an audience, so he does how he box on them
Yes,
for the
set up.
all the neighbors and everybody. All the neighbors say, yeah. Because down by me too, if have a man down by me, he just put his box outside, you know.
Yeah. Why don't disturb us?
Yeah. He say he does want everybody to hear.
Yeah.
When you're on the radio.
Yeah.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wish the Baptists a happy and holy spiritual day tomorrow and be safe. And
So here what I want you to do.
Really,
Here what I want you to do.
Mr. Rowley, really, I don't bring down himself very low.
Here what I want you to
I
do.
mean, he's talking and you know how it is act. He acting like a little child.
Here what I want you to do. You listening?
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow, please God, I am going to be here. And I want you to call. I want you to call and wish the Baptists them the holiday tomorrow, please God,
Yes.
because I will be here tomorrow. And we have a segment for the Baptists tomorrow.
Right.
So call in tomorrow.
You know, I don't miss it.
Right.
You know that. You know who's speaking,
Yes,
right?
of
I don't
course,
call
of
my
course,
name.
Of course, I know who's speaking. So thanks for your
Okay.
contribution, and tomorrow call in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, I want to let's save that for tomorrow for the Baptists. We are going to be here, don't worry.
All right,
Welcome,
right.
caller.
Mr. Jeffrey, and to Mr. Robert,
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, sir, good day.
and a blessed evening to one and to Corky.
Okay, in the house.
Yes,
You
yes.
see, when something is happening, you mustn't put it down. A right must be a right and a wrong. You see, we just always say we grew from that colonialism that you must forgive a wrong. It has grew. I listened to the program, and to Mr. Fox, he said something, and Marsha didn't put him in any position to disrespect him. All she said, the people that come out and work, and with the passion she said it, the ministers and the opposition people that come out there and go and do their work. And I could never say it. She was wrong.
So, caller, listen to me. Hold up a minute. I'm not going further with this Marsha and Fox thing here this evening.
All right, let me Fox it out then.
Right. Any other thing. Make any other contribution.
All right. You see the colonial system?
Right.
Our Prime Minister has learned that.
Yeah.
You see, come and give the Baptist people $10 million
We talk about
so that he sold his people again for the 1%. Have a blessed and wonderful night, sir.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much, caller. 10 million jumping up. Right, so people, let me help all to understand one time. No calls with Marsha and Fox here this evening. None. Absolutely none. As you say, Marsha and Fox, I cut you off this evening. Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robert, Jeffrey, and Cocky.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
This is Tomato Chuka
Baigan. Sada.
and Sahina.
Yeah,
Listen to me. I listened to the Honorable former Prime Minister Monday night,
Yeah.
and I want to connect some dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first question I want to ask. DSS investigation. The vaccine vagrant put that under his wings, and we are hearing nothing about it. I wonder who he protecting there now. I hear this fella, the senator now, I hear he has some land down in somewhere in Cuba, and he put up blocks to block out gas. And I hear now another company called Top Marks or something like that. I wonder who the vaccine vagrant trying to protect. Because Clarence have to answer questions, and this is what I want Clarence to answer. The Prime Minister says since 2015, you went to him, you complain about high government official. Did you report it to the then Police Commissioner, Mr. Williams? Did you report it to Gigi?
The Prime Minister said that in 2015, Clarence complained to him?
Yeah.
So who lying? Who lying? Clarence or the Prime Minister? Because Clarence say is in 2021, 2022.
Listen carefully to the vaccine, Greg Van. Sometimes you just talk and you don't understand where he's going. He says since 2015, Clarence identified that, and he always tell Clarence, go to the police. So I want to know who lying, and if Clarence had all that information and didn't take it to Gigi or didn't take it to Stephen Williams, was he misbehaving in public office, or was he preventing?
Clarence have no question to answer. Clarence stated publicly that he took the file to the Prime Minister and the Commissioner of Police between 21 and 22.
So that is what I'm saying. One of them had to answer, and it looked like this man only blocking by.
But all of we know who had to answer. We know who is the nasty liar in this country. All of us know that. We know is the Prime Minister is the biggest liar in this country.
But the other thing is, why did he block the investigation with DSS? We are hearing nothing, because a birdie was singing to me, boy. He say all of a sudden that it swings so much during the night. You understand? Because we thought Julian George had that cat in the bag. But it swings so much, and at the same time, they get a set of money, and the police hide the money, the police carry it back. What's going on? People have to understand something that man blocking. Every investigation he take control of is something he hiding. And we have to build a big jail for him sometime down the road. Karma go take care of that. You understand?
Thank you, caller. Very soon. Clarence had nothing to answer. Clarence make it quite clear. Clarence said in between 20 and 21, not 22, 20 and 21, he took the file to the police and the Prime Minister. So what we're only talking about 2015. Why we only go and sleep, yes? Welcome, caller.
Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Roberts and Mr. Jeffrey
yes,
and Koki. Mr. Roberts, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
I thought I'd reached the stage in my life where I would never allow anything to surprise me or to shock me. But I know a fellow, by his own confession, said he went and made a deal with the devil in Lekoto to destroy money. Dealing with the devil. However, the shock came when last night I saw him on a platform saying the good Lord touch his soul. Gentlemen, but I console myself and say, if Saul could turn to Paul, anything is possible.
Thank you, caller. That is how we just know them fellas and them is jokers. That is how we know them fellas is jokers. Them fellas and them coming to confess, and that is what does take place when people sell the soul. That had to come out and state it publicly. But are you witnessing the fall of Rowley? This is the fall of Rowley and the PNM government. Their policies is flawed. And the policies designed in such a way that he come out again and publicly say that he say for the rich to get rich and for we to live off the and he completely destroy the middle class. So nobody it come like they create a big wall and we can't pass. They put barbed wire fence across. So waiting going happen. All along in South. You see what going on? They ain't creating no jobs so nobody down in this. Well, they ain't creating no jobs on our whole. You see them youth men and them climbing up and thieving copper line all over the place. Yeah, good evening, caller.
Mr. Victor?
Yes, sir.
You know what is a cult?
Yes, sir.
And you know what is mafia?
Yes, sir.
If I have to sell my mother for something, you see, Jeffrey, understand these people in high places, boy. Come and say what the people want to hear. is full it up in the head, control the mind and the soul and the spirit. People don't who makes religion? The cult makes, the mafia makes a cult, and they make religion. There is no book. You have common sense, and common sense make book. You don't have to go to a church to save yourself. You know what is right from wrong. From then to now, your parents been taught in school, in the colonial system, that the cult teaches you to respect because he is a slave. You cannot stand up against your master. And when you could stand up and throw in a holy book and then fling it in the dustbin and thieving and cheating and corruption all over the place, you would accept that, sir? No. Because this is why they could tell, and our Prime Minister said, foolish, and he know how to, he give them 10 million. What he give them 10 million for? It's taxpayers' money he's spending, and he's freely giving them that. Oh, you have a blessed and wonderful night, but don't go in Bible.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, good evening, caller.
Yes, good night to you all, and good night to Trinidad and Tobago, and have a happy Baptist shouted. This man saying that he ain't mocking nobody, you know. He mocking himself. He mocking Wade Mark, and his voice is so irritating. People just turn off their set when they hear him, and I'm not making it up. I am making up that he don't know how irritating his song. And he go on in church now, in God church, and say, who he mocking there? He ain't mocking nobody but himself, and he trying to mock God. Let him know that he is numbered. Oh yes, I'm a great pretender. Pretending that I'm doing well. I play the game, but tomorrow still the same. He don't, and everybody in Trinidad and Tobago, the shipwreck, and they sit down on the ship and asking captain what to do. They don't want to jump off like they want to dead. But I want to send a message out to the world now. Let us sanction the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Let it don't enter the country when they destroy this one because they want to destroy it and then run out. Let us sanction them so let it die in the ash. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tobago. Thank you.
Tobago talk with some vengeance there.
The people seeing what... The only people who ain't seeing what going on here is Trinidadians.
Nah, don't say that. The only people who ain't seeing what going on is them who in the PNM cult.
All right, well, I could
I see what going on.
I go accept that.
I see what going on.
I go accept that. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Roberts and your co-host.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
I think this is election. This is election year. I think local election is due this year.
Yeah. And might very well be a general election too. Don't put it off.
I suspect that because it kind of works as it taking place in certain constituencies. I suspect that it may be a dual election. I listened to this whole question about reparation and all that, and I hope that reparation, as a matter of fact, the issue of reparation is not used. Is not used in an opportunistic manner, right? Because I am saying that the issue is one that came up years ago, and this gentleman, this historian, Harry Beckles from Barbados, this historian, he been at the helm and the leadership in terms of seeking reparation, right, for slavery. In fact, sometime last year, there was an interview on the BBC with Zina Badawi and Professor Hilary Beckles with respect to reparation. So it's not something that is new. But I want to know, how it is. I never heard him champion reparation before, but it could be used as a mobilization tool for this election, for these elections.
It's true.
You know the banana and the monkey and all that kind of thing. So it's again to mobilize the mob, right? And those who believe that they are the blackest people, who is the blackest man in Trinidad. So I'm saying that people have to be very careful and don't be distracted by all the semantics that is taking place. Because this issue of reparation, as I'm saying, is nothing new. But I've never heard that. I heard Ralph Gonzalez some 2 years ago spoke about reparation, been agitating for it, but there was no call previously.
No unified call
by that regime, right, for reparation. So I'm saying I hope that it is not being used as a tool for mobilization of the mob or the base for the elections. And in any event, I don't think, and the fact remains, it is clear that those people who championing the cause of reparation, for example, the University of Bristol in London, in England, they have decided that they're going to give, in fact, they pledge or probably have given a substantial sum, a couple $1 million for the cause, right? But they're not going to give it to any government to say they're going to invest it or put it in some university, something, or some training and that kind of thing. And I hope that this money that they're calling for, I don't think that anybody could really give this government any money on behalf of poor people.
No,
because poor people being here, you had so much money, oil money flow here in Laventille, behind the bridge all down there in the East Corridor is still in a mess. So I don't know, given the philosophy...
Don't forget Labre, please.
Yeah, given the philosophy that you have to give to the rich so it trickles down to the poor.
Yeah.
I don't know whether if they decide to give that money, which I know they're not going to give it to any government, right, to distribute or to give up or to put in projects for the people. That may go to the rich to trickle down to the poor, and you'll never get anything, right? So people have to be very careful and don't allow themselves to be used or distracted by this kind of call for reparation. You had money, you never had them. You never give them. They're living in poverty. They're living in squalor. Oil money pass here. All you're studying is the 1% and the rich and all them people and them, and until you develop, you make clear your philosophy.
Yeah.
Right, of the rich, and then trickle down to the poor. So they have to get rich for the poor to get something. Champion or no poor people. The sons and daughters of ex-slaves. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Very well said, caller. Welcome.
Gentlemen, me again.
Yes, sir.
This will be short and quick. But you could help me if I get the sequence wrong. Wasn't a similar promise made just before some election to the OWTU that I will give you all ownership of Petrotrin?
Come on, sign the refinery ready to hand over.
Yeah, just before, I can't remember which election it was, but
2020.
Similar kind of promise. So the election in the air somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, caller.
Now, what the caller say about this reformation thing, this have been an ongoing issue, Victor. And why is now the bringing up this?
Well, simple. You see, let me tell you something. I said it earlier on that Keith Rowley is a strategist. And what Keith Rowley does is that, and I am telling you, our general election closer, mind you, very close. What Keith Rowley does is he played the chess game. He played that chess game, and he makes his move at the appropriate time to signal to the people that he wants to attract that, look, there is something in store for you, even though there is nothing within the something.
All right.
You follow what I'm saying? Let me take this call and then we go for a break. Welcome, caller.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Victor Roberts. Good evening, Corky and Jeffries, and to everybody out there. Yes, caller, it was as the last local government election when Imbert say all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, everything is in place for OWTU to get Petrotrin. And UNC could never do anything like that. It takes a PNM government to do something like that. Where's the refinery today? Where's the union? And they're all very quiet. Too many wrong things going on in this country, and the union, all who were vociferous when Mrs. Prasad Bissessar was in office, very quiet. Where is Permel? Permel was the man that led the charge with Clico. And he told Mrs. Prasad Bissessar, if you don't settle up, we are not going to vote for you. Right after the elections of 2015, he wrote an article in the newspapers. I told you so. I wonder if he's still singing I told you so, because from my understanding, they still have monies outstanding for Clico shareholders. Everybody, Kirkford, everybody, we're there. And our country is sinking daily. And nobody's saying a word, you understand? And if Keith Rowley and one of the callers, she made my paws raise when she was talking about the mocking pretender. She called him the great pretender. I call him the mocking pretender. You understand? Standing up there and singing his heart out, wanting people to feel sorry for him. But I want the Baptist people to remember who gave them the schools and everything. Who gave them a holiday. Don't feel as the PNM did anything for you. Keith Rowley can do what you want and looking like a circus horse the way he was dressed for a prime minister. You understand? Keith Rowley, you are fooling nobody. Everybody can see right through you now. Thanks a lot and have a good evening.
Thank you, man.
Let's go to the break. We'll be right back.
This season of Lent, get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television MCTV, bringing you back where you belong. Part of the Rhythms Communications Network. To advertise with us, call 218-7820.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. We have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655. Or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Jules, on Late Nights with Jules, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV, 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human. Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Hi, this is Michael Rutlal, attorney at law. I'm inviting you to join me every Thursday at 5 p.m. on MCTV for the Social Contract. It's a new show where we will be discussing bills that are being debated in Parliament, topical legal issues and recent decisions of our courts,
and where we'll be giving general legal advice on issues that affect you, the public. I encourage all of you to continue looking at MCTV, bringing you back to where you belong.
The Local Palooza Show and Countdown.
Now showing on MCTV.
Hosted by TNT's Rock Ambassador, Bees Hi-Fi, the Metal Merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza Show and Countdown on MCTV. The Local Palooza Show and Countdown.
Now showing on MCTV.
Welcome to Rhythms Communications Network.
We are multicultural television, MCTV. Total local programming, the latest news, all the sports, our culture. MCTV.
MCTV is broadcasting in HD on Flow 114, Digital 22, Ampere 119, Airlink 18, RVR 109, Mayaro Cable 103, ICNTT 120. MCTV bringing you back where you belong.
U975 FM, hot like pepper multicultural radio.
All the music you know and love, played by the DJs who know how to mix it just right. We don't come fight, we come hot like pepper.
Informative and entertaining with the hottest DJs in the country. On the World Wide Web with fun radio, adult contemporary music, and
WBHM, the voice of rock. Rock, 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 rock.
Rhythms Communications Network, connecting cultures, connecting communities.
Welcome back. Yeah. And Jeffrey was making a very salient point when he spoke of the middle class. The middle class being destroyed in society. But why would a government destroy the middle class?
For more control, for more power. Because if he was to control the population, it would have been too much. So here what he do, he wrongs up everybody and put them in one stable for more control.
But could it be, Jeffrey? We have looked at give me some volume here. We have looked at All right, good. So we have looked at neighboring countries. Let's look at Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
We have looked at Venezuela, and we have seen a pattern by the Maduro regime where they have also destroyed the middle class.
Yeah.
And destroying the middle class, those who they have selected, whether it be financiers or whether it be high officials, those who they have selected, they have now become filthy rich.
Yeah.
And by destroying the middle class, you bring the middle class to the poorer class of people within the country. Of course, then those who were already poor will plunge into poverty. And therefore, you now have two sections of your country depending on you to survive. And you think is a clear case of a Maduro strategy that Rowley have now placed on the people of this country?
It go far back as further than Maduro, you know. It go far back as men like Joseph Stalin. And if it was in the 1970s, there was a guy they called Vladimir Lenin. Now he trained Joseph Stalin, who would have ruled Russia for 30 years. And what they would have done there was to minimize, is a same strategy like this, to destroy the middle class. So which means they don't have that. So it have less influencers at the top. So all they have to do is to keep on funding them enough to keep them loyal. And the population, they don't really have to spend most of that money on them because them at the top gain, and they're making you feel that if we keep on supplying them on the top, we will get at the bottom. And it created more poverty.
Well, actually, that is what Rowley said with the interview with Natalie Lego. He said that he don't have a problem with the rich getting richer because at least, you know, the rich get richer, then some trickling will be taking place. And I am wondering if people really looking into what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, because when you look at our neighboring countries, countries who does not have oil and gas, and you see that this economy is on an upward trend. There is some level of growth.
Yeah.
Unlike Trinidad and Tobago, who continue to display this negative growth. And when you look at our population in particular, and you see that even though Rowley would be saying that, look, things will be opening up and people will be going back to the jobs and so on and so on and so on. Yet because of the policies of the government, they would not be able to stimulate any kind of growth in the economy, one. And two, they would not be able to bring or to get foreign investors involved. And in the absence of foreign investors, in the absence of any kind of growth within the economy, what you will have is a country that will continue to spiral downwards. Even though people may believe that, hey, I'm going back to work and things will be normalized, yet to the end of the day, the country will continue to spiral downwards. And when you wake up and realize that, hey, look, even though I am working, I am still not able to pay my bills, to mind my family, to put away something. I think we already at that stage, we already at that stage. But for some reason, the people in the country not really, it is as though like they're not really feeling the real effects as yet as to what is going on. And while Rowley continued to strategize and to target their attention, whether he choose to behave like an idiot on a press conference or in a church, or whether he choose to puppy show some kind of speech impediment, or whatever he choose to do to get into the psyche of the PNM voters. This is what he will do, because I am confident that the general election is close. I am confident. But added to that, we are at a place where you are now seeing that some of the PNM loyalists, they are now taking a position where they are calling for the removal of Keith Rowley.
Yes.
Now, on one hand, Keith Rowley would not surrender.
Yeah.
He will not surrender. You have to actually force Keith Rowley back against a wall. And that wall must have some serious spear. Must have some serious spears for him to say, okay, I surrender. And in some cases, he don't even mind if he back bruise. He don't even mind if he back bruise. Because, and I will tell you why I'm going in that direction. When you look at as to what is happening on every given occasion, every time the government reach a point where there's a scandal, Keith Rowley will perform, he will jump into the circus ring.
Yeah.
And he'll put on his red nose and paint his face, powder up his face
Powder up
red
his
and
face.
so on. And
Don't forget the wig, eh?
right, and he'll put on that wig and be the clown. He will be the clown. And what will happen is that when he be the clown, we, the population, actually pay attention to he being the clown and not paying attention to what is happening. Take the call. Take the call. Yeah. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Robert. Good night, Mr. Jeffrey. Good night, Mr. Coffee.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Yes, good night.
Yeah, I have a real problem, right? Like, I can't sleep in the night. I only studying this fella from San Francisco. Like, it's like a very funny boy. Like, if I real funny, like, I just studying this man. In the morning, and get up, I'm going to sleep in the night after studying this man. Get up in the morning again after studying this man. I don't know what to do. You know the fella from San Francisco now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, that's a good fella to study, eh? Yeah. Thank you, caller. Thank you. But that's a good fella to study, you know. Let me tell you why that's a good fella to study. That fella does only study Rowley and Stewarty. So if he only studying Rowley and Stewarty, nothing wrong if you study here. Nothing wrong if you study because what? Boy, let me tell you something. I will come back to that just now. Caller. So, as I was saying, what happened is that when Rowley be the clown, people turn away from the issue. People turn away from what is before us, and they focus on Rowley being the clown. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
That's why he
focus.
started doing the dance thing with calling.
Right. So all that is being the clown, the mocking at Wayne Mark and the Faris and the church I ain't done yet and all that is just being the clown. And that is to take away from the serious issues that could collapse the government. That is what that is about. And I am wondering why we keep falling. You know, there's a song, I keep falling in love over and over and over and over again, you know. We keep falling for the being the clown action than spending time on the real issues, the issues that continue to pose Trinidad and Tobago that great danger that is posing us. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Hi.
Yes, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good evening again to everybody. Mr. Roberts, you are right. The man is a master manipulator.
Yeah.
He's a distractor. All that antics that he was getting on there with is for votes. But I want to remind them all the promises that he made to them and it never materialized. He made a promise in 2015 to the Shogunas Chamber of Commerce. Rishi Sukai, the same Rishi Sukai, who wanted to cast the Vice President of Guyana, Barajagil. You understand? He promised them that as soon as if the PNM wins the election, they're going to make Shogunas Sabaro give them city status. Where is it? 7 years now, and you forget about it. The same thing he lied about with Afro Raymond at a breakfast meeting at the Hilton, that as soon as he gets into office, they will fix the procurement. What did they fix? They fix themselves. Look at how they butchered that bill, and Afro Raymond and everybody who were there did not say a word. Right? It's only promises this man making, and I want to remind them, all you do not listen to him, because he's campaigning, he's making promises, and he's not going to keep any. Remember, after the elections have consequences, and after this local government election that's coming up here, is we have to suffer again. Do not listen to Keith Rowley. He's a distractor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Santa Cruz is quite right. That is what he does. He's very clever with that kind of behavior. Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robert. Inside again. And I want the vaccine vegan, a.k.a. Pimpininian, to listen to what I'm going to say tonight. I want them to get a copy of the Starbrook News. That is the leading newspaper, one of the leading newspaper in Ghana. And there is an article where the government, the leadership, Irfan Ali and Barack Jagdeo, and their Minister of Education have provided a way out for adolescent moms. You know what an adolescent mom is? Is a young girl who has become a parent before 20. And you know what they're doing? They're retraining those people or giving them training so when they go into the workplace, they have an opportunity to fend for themselves. What are we doing for the hyenas in the African jungle? Is our Prime Minister, remember when he made that statement, providing for that sector of the population? I mean to say it was sad when he labeled them as that, but he has to show them school is opening back, and those same hyenas going back to school, and he has to make sure he do something for them so that they could become comfortable in a positive environment. Gonna have a nice night.
Thank you, caller. So he continues to perform, and while he performs, and we lose focus as to the real issues, then we wait for the another one to occur, and then we are hot on it again, and then he performs again, and he keep deceiving all the moves with the serious issues that should have a general election on hand. Now, my question is, Jeffrey, whose fault it is? You can't blame the Prime Minister. He is doing what he have to do to keep his head above water. So it's not Keith Rowley's fault, while it is Keith Rowley's strategy. It is the people of Trinidad and Tobago fault that the PNM is still in power. Because if the people of this country, if they were serious about governance, about accountability, about transparency, this government would have already called a fresh election. But the people, we are not serious.
Yeah.
We like talk. What we like is talk.
But some people don't have a voice, It come like how
Why?
some people...
They born dumb?
No, what I'm saying is, it are, like how we say, it are plenty people suffering, but they don't know how to reach out. They probably even know about radio, listening to a program. And they're just there and things happening and they don't know what to do.
Well, then, if they just did...
Understand what I'm saying? It have some the poor people. They even have an ID card. They just there living.
Right. So I will say that is a small percentage without ID card.
I think it's more than small.
Without ID card, I think it's a small percentage compared to the people who know what's going on.
Right.
And the people who know what's going on
Yes.
ought to be the brothers keepers to those who don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Right.
So if the people who know what's going on,
Right.
they are the ones who is in the majority. They are the one, Corky,
Yes.
who ought to be speaking out, who ought to be taking legal, lawful action to ensure that an election is called. You see...
But some people afraid to talk because they feel they go starve.
Well...
Yeah, well it's not them too, But we bounce up a whole set of them down library.
Right, but I ain't taking that as an excuse.
But Victor, you ain't see much of them didn't want to come on the camera.
I agree.
You understand?
I agree, but
they're supporting. But it are people waiting and listening when we go down there, So, all right, he working 10 days.
Yeah.
We shooting him. No more 10 days say he
Running
again.
out now,
Right.
yeah. 'Cause we know what
And I agree.
Yeah.
But it mustn't be an excuse, because let me tell you why it mustn't be an excuse. If you can't speak loud, you could speak easy. Let me tell you what I mean. If you can't come publicly, because of course I am aware that there is victimization. I am aware what is happening with those who work with me, who are working CPEP in 2020. I am aware those who are working URP, what happened.
Yeah.
And this is what must happen. You see, you cannot allow yourself, nobody, absolutely nobody, ought to allow themselves to be oppressed to the level where you cannot eat if you speak. You what I just said, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Nobody ought to allow themselves to be oppressed to the level where if you speak, you cannot eat. If you are allowing yourself to be brought to the point where if you speak, you cannot eat, I am saying today that something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you, Corky. Corky, and let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something. I do feel, I on the ground, you know. I know exactly what is going on, you know.
Right.
And I am telling those, you see, what happened to us as a people? We too selfish, wicked, and greedy for we own self.
Yeah,
Let me say it again. What happened to us as a people? We are too selfish, we wicked, and we greedy. We. And when that occurs, let me tell you something. It is only a matter of time before you, the individual who portray those character traits, will be worse than those who cannot speak, who cannot eat when they speak. Because, Corky, I want to tell you this.
Yeah.
When they fired two CPEP individuals
Right.
for working with a UNC candidate, if the others weren't greedy and wicked to their own self and selfish, what would they do, Jeffrey?
They would have stand up.
All of them would have stand up. All of them would have stand up. And that is why this government is able to do people what they want. Because people,
Yeah.
wicked, greedy, and selfish,
Yeah.
Corky, they will not stand up for their own brother and sister. They will not stand up.
Yeah.
And in the absence of not standing up, it's only a matter of time before you becomes vulnerable to the same situation. Because let me tell you what happened. The another 8 who didn't stand up,
Yeah.
they can't walk and they can't talk. Because if they walk and talk anything other than the PNM,
They can't eat.
they can't eat.
Wickedness.
Who bring you to that? You bring yourself to that.
But why everything does just keep going the same way all the time? PNM in power,
Let me tell you why.
racial thing, racial talk, UNC in power, racial talk, them people so, them, and we're going so on and on. Let me say government change again. And it's the same thing continue going on. How do we stop that kind of thing?
Right.
Will that ever end?
So let me come back to this point first before we go on the
Right.
race. When I used to work Santana, I used to work, well, I climbed the rank and file. So before I reached the point of supervisor, I was a head man. Right? Where you call a Jedi in other terms.
Yeah.
And guess what? My team when I decide that, look, it's about time we get increase because we are no union. As they join union, they fire.
All right.
So when I tell them, I say, well, look, let everybody join the union. Same thing. Some say, nah, boy, we go lost, we work. Some join, some get fired. The fact remain is, if all of us they join, what happen? They are shut down the whole rig.
They cannot do that.
Right. So you see where I'm going. But to the end of the day, the point remain is this. When you have people who allow themselves to be brought to the point to accept that type of behavior from a contractor who supports our government, you are no better than those who already get sent to. As a matter of fact, those who took the initiative to walk, to support, and to exercise their rights, their freedom of choice, they are the ones that I will salute than those who stood and remain in the condition and have to hide and have to allow them, and who allow themselves to be suppressed to buy a bread.
Yeah.
You hear what I tell you, Jeffrey? And this is what, Corky, I comment on your point.
Yeah.
This is what the government, the politicians, this is one of the strategy that they use. So while they talk about we are free, that is only a language, you know. That is only a figure of speech. We are free to choose.
What they put for
We are free to vote for whoever, our choice. And they will boast about the People's Act. And they will tell you that it is your right. And nobody can this. And you could support who you want. And nobody, that is only a bunch of baloney. That is only a bunch of baloney. Because as you stand up and support anything other than what in power, you better be prepared to jump on the donkey back. You better be prepared to jump on the donkey back. And this is what this government are quite capable of doing. They manipulate every situation in this country, every organization. Nobody cannot speak against the government.
Is it that why they always say great is the PNM? Because they know to do all these wicked things here and there and control people?
Well, the PNM had to be great because let me tell you something.
What is the definition of great is the PNM?
Well, let me explain to you.
I want to know that.
Let me explain to you the definition of great is the PNM.
What is great about the PNM? How they do,
I'm going to explain to you.
Yeah.
Great is the PNM means that the PNM could do whatever they want and they still stand strong. Again, nice definition.
Anything they want.
Anything they want.
And stand strong.
Koki, this PNM could do anything they want in this country.
So what's that power? What it is they're doing to have that, to do that? What is the strategy? What it is?
That's the same strategy Jim Jones used.
Tell
That's the
me.
same thing.
But
It's the same, but you're laughing.
But let me tell you something, Corky, before we take the score.
Yeah.
If Rowley mix a drum or anything and say PNM supporters come and drink, they're drinking. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Mr. Victor Robert.
Yes, sir.
I'm Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes, good evening.
You know why they say great is the PNM? You could put a donkey in a tie, they go vote for it. You put a frog in a tie, you put a turkey in a tie. That's why they say the people are stupid. I would never in this life blame Mr. Rowley for anything. He grew for 30 years in the Westmoreland. The people give him the power, look after him, clothe him, feed him, and you think he will turn it back against them? Is Mrs. Kamala Pasakal is the people that goes out there to vote, and you know they say some of them sitting on the fence, so they just fall out the fence. They're hungry, and they're still going to run old talk down and don't stand up for issue in this country. This country is not a racial country, you know. only when election is coming, people start to divide themselves. And that is where great PNM is. Have a blessed and wonderful night to you all.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying to that point, but still, what it is they do when they say great is the PNM, you're saying juice, but I'm talking about it has something they do other than that. We know it's our race.
Cocky, let me don't fool myself.
Yeah.
I gonna tell her because that is how I just get it straight. I don't care who
Straight
Ben.
up.
When I get it straight, I don't care who Ben.
Yes.
The PNM voters vote on race, not policy.
Race.
Let me say it again. The PNM voters vote on race, not policy.
So great is the PNM is race. When they say great is the PNM, because they control race.
They control the masses. They control
Nah,
the masses.
but it had to have some other things they do as well.
Cocky, all they do. All right, you tell me what the PNM does do. You watch. Let me watch the whole country.
Yes.
And tell me what the PNM do to have the support that they have now.
Well, they keep some people probably uneducated about politics. They all of their thing out, you know. And so that you really know what it is going on. All you know, yeah, boy, are you going for scruffy? Eat that, you know, something like that.
I remember
You
a
know?
gentleman called a couple of weeks ago and he told
Yeah.
me that I must go back and watch my program because we divide in the country and we talk about
we are dividing
about this on this topic. And I going down the highway and I laughing. I say, well, this man, I think he have to be a PNM. I tell myself that,
He find we trying to figure out the strategy, so he don't want that.
Now listen this.
Yes.
Cocky.
Yes.
You see, you have to remember that I and Jeffrey come out from the belly of the PNM. You know? My
Right.
mother, father,
Okay,
grandparents,
right,
everybody. By the time we small, the first thing they whisper in your ears is to vote PNM. You know?
So I could learn a lot here.
Before you could even watch, as you're born and the doctor spank you, pow!
Oh.
And you say, ah! And your mother take you, say, vote PNM.
Oh.
Welcome, caller.
Inside again, Roberts, Mr. Roberts, Corky, and Jeffries. You know why the PNM can be wrong and strong? They have high people in high places, and those people are the decision makers. And I call the sleeper cells. Every high official governmental organization, institution, they have a sleeper cell in there. For example, I would like to say most of the time, the president office, the judiciary, the police service, you name it. That is why they could be wrong and strong, because they know the padre or the compadre, the friends and family will not interfere with them. And what I mean friends and family is the people who drinking the Balize juice together. I'm going. Have a nice night.
Caller, I hear you, but I ain't agreeing with you.
Yes.
I hear you, but I'm not agreeing with you. I agree. They have sleeper cells, as you put it, people in high places, judiciary, presidents, house, everything. I agree with you. But let me tell you something.
Yes.
The people that they have in high places does not keep them in power.
No.
The people that they have in high places does not keep them in power. Matter of fact, some of them people in high places that you talking about doesn't even go and vote. The people who keeping them in power is the people like you and me, the people who have nothing. It's we are the PNM in power.
Yeah.
Cocky, the people that have nothing. Let me just balance that a little bit. The people who is not high and mighty, they are the ones that keep the PNM in power. Let me tell you something. You just see the Chief Justice going and campaign for the PNM in his election. You just see the independent senators going and campaign for PNM in his election. You just see the lawyers going and the law association going and campaign for the PNM. You doesn't see them. Who you just see going and campaign?
Right.
Who you just see passing on and telling you you have to go and vote? Who come in and pick you up in a van, whether you're on a wheelchair or not, to carry to vote? Who?
All right.
Good evening,
Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night again. Good evening again.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to disturb you again. The the PNM has been able to use the tool of the plantation very efficiently and very effectively, and that is divide and rule. And I mean, the why the society is where the way it is today is multifactorial, right? But what I saw sometime in 2015, 2016, Labor Day, the unions used to be at one time the vanguard. They protected the lower class and the working class people. They provide a very critical, means of educating the working class people. And they divided the union. And if you go back in the 70s and the 60s and the 70s, the unions were divided. You had, and they were very weak, because you had the progressive trade unions and you had the Congress of the Labor Congress, or the Congress, the union. And they were divided, and there was one, the Congress belonged to the PNM with St. Elmo Gopal and Kaltal and all these different people. They were part of the PNM and they were divided. When they united, they had strength. You had thousands of public servants on the street. That is what they listen, that is what they know. And from the time I saw in 2016, where you had one faction in Faizabad, and they were chasing the other faction, which was the PSA and the SWWTU. That is, and I have $15 million being put up there. I realized that it weakened the working class, because they had nobody to support them, nobody to fight for them, because the union had always been the vanguard of the people, of the working class, of the poor. And that is what they did, right? So until the union could come together, because you had that same in 2016, you had the following year, you had those unions that didn't agree with the OWTU, with Roger and others. They had to go to Tobago on Labor Day, right? They were fiercely divided. You had people being promised all kind of refinery and all kind of things. You couldn't talk about Rowley and the PNM. They start to back Roger and them backing at people, anybody, whether you political party, you talk about them. They join up with them. You couldn't say nothing about Rowley and them, and Roger and Abdullah and them there. So the point about, until they could be united, you could have a united front. You're not going to have any forceful or bring about any meaningful change in the way workers are treated and the poor people are treated in this country. Another one thing I want to talk about also is that they use it very skillfully too. You have thousands of people now who are in the public service, and they work on contract. It means that, and some of them month to month, you have nurses who working. You just imagine in Trinidad and Tobago, you have nurses working month to month and contract for 3 months, which I could get rid of you anytime. I don't want to renew your contract. So you have thousands of young people. Today you have them as OJT working in the public service. Advantage, exploitation. They have no job. They can't improve themselves. Some of them today, they provide for the family, the extended family, their mother, their cousin, their nephew in a house, because they are the only one who working there and working for very, very minimal salary. So they're paddling, they're both very, very straight. So these are the things that they use to control the people, right? So these are the things, and don't discard it, right? Don't diminish it. It's a fact. That is what is going on. A whole set of people in the public service, maids, clerk 1, clerk 2, clerk 3, all these different people. They're just, and some of them, they're temporary. Some of them, they're on contract. So these are the things that you have to look, and they use it very skillfully.
Good point, son.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what I'm saying, Corky.
Yes.
If the people in this country stand up, because what? The caller is quite right. There's a number of individuals who on month-to-month contract. And I'm speaking about in critical areas. But why won't these people stand up together and say, look, we're not going to continue to work under these conditions. We need some kind of job security. But they wouldn't do that. And if a group, a few of them decide, what happens is that while you put it out, everybody agree. But when it's time for the action, it's only a few. And they fire a few, and they bring back a few on contract, and they continue to manipulate the system. Yeah. And that is what I'm saying. The people are selfish and wicked to their own self.
I think all of that going to change now.
They bring themselves to a point where they accept oppression.
Everything going to change now.
Let me take this call. But this is a very salient point that the caller make. Welcome, caller.
Yes, Sister Fox.
Yes, Fox. Yes.
Now, I listen to the conversation. And we, the people, have to get ourselves out of mental slavery. It's only we can free our mind. And look at Tobago. Sunday said the Calcutta ship, they win the election. They come back with the same thing. They lose the election because Tobagonians standing up now. We don't want to hear about no race in Tobago. We don't want about no race in Tobago. All of we is one race.
Correct.
And I am begging the people of Trinidad, please, I'm begging all you, is begging all you. When this election call here just now, I want you all to put Kamala Prasad Bisesa back into power.
Yes.
Put Kamala Prasad Bisesa back into power. Tobagonians begging all you for that. This is the only person right now, she's a woman and a half, the only person right now could bring back Trinidad and Tobago how it is and how it was. She can bring back this country to how it was. She have the knowledge, she have the know-how, she have everything. It have one set of fly-by-night coming up, they want power. They may want power, they want work. They want money. They're coming to fool already the people of Trinidad. All of them, they're coming up from under the ground like they was dead and waiting. I don't know waiting for what. We have to take out the cross and put it on them fellas and then they go back down in the grave and vote Kamala Prasad Bisesa. That is a woman. I don't know how to explain that woman. Please, she giving all of us food in the mouth, and when we mouth full, like we doesn't like that, like we just want to be hungry. We cause we own suffering right now. Right now we suffer we own self because she was there helping us. Pregnant woman getting money for the child, and the child not even born yet. Oh God, Christopher Rowley is a Houdini. He's a man that disappear and appear. He's a liar. Satan is a liar. He's a liar too. He's Satan, brother. Lucifer. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
What?
And this is a serious situation. Why would you subject yourself to be working under these conditions? When you watch, let's just look at the nurses, for instance, Koki. Why would you subject yourself to be under month where you cannot speak, you cannot talk, as you open your mouth, they threaten to fire you? You understand? Withhold your services collectively and ensure that you get some sort of a respect for the job that you're doing. And that is the same point I was making with these CPEP workers. They will not stand up. They will not stand up. They will not stand for what is right. So when you continue to subject and to submit yourself to this kind of a behavior, what would you expect from the politicians? The politicians will very well treat you as dogs.
Yeah.
They will. They will have no mercy on you.
That is true.
They will have no mercy, and that is why they could boast how great the PNM is. Because they will continue to suppress and oppress you, and you will not stand up against it. You will not revolt against it. You will not say, this is enough, I'm not going to submit myself to this. Watch what happened in this country, and people submitting themselves to it, and people submitting themselves willingly to it. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Yes, good night, gentlemen, again once more. I'm here, Steve was speaking a while ago, that camera should bring back. But remember, after so long, bringing it back we suffered so long. Are we patient enough to accept the recovery stage? Because it's not one person or two persons that we are dealing with. It's a nation. So the recovery stage might be a little challenging to get everything in its right perspective. You see, it's not going to happen by the snap of a finger of just electing Kamala. But yeah, okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night.
Right. So what the caller just said, all our words, is saying to the public is that if you bring back, when you bring back Kamala, if you have the patience to wait to undergo the recovery stage, based on the fact as to where we are at this point in
If we
time.
had to wait and think to get the recovery stage, why we just don't get rid of Rowley now? So we had to go through all that.
And you see, that is the point, Corky.
We have to wait so long to
That is the
election
point. That is the
and
point.
people
That's
died,
the point.
suffering. Yeah.
We are good talkers. Watch. We are such clever speakers that we dot the I's and we cross the T's.
Yeah.
But when coming to take action, we fail miserably.
But we back down against the wall, the pothole, the road, no people have no food. You know what I see going on the mail? People bringing wrong mails to all the people and they're getting the checks. One thing. When say, but there's no we mail, so much mail as if they're doing that for spite. Yes, sir.
The caller before say he blame Rowley. And on this
What do you
occasion...
mean you blame Rowley? If somebody put you there and trust you to do something and you're doing it.
Listen, man.
And you go blame that person because somebody trusts.
Well,
I
listen,
trust
man,
you.
Corky,
Yes, sir.
on this occasion, I agree with the caller.
How so?
I agree with the caller.
But still.
Don't blame Rowley.
Yeah.
I agree with your caller.
But do you agree with this?
And I agree with the caller.
Yeah.
Because as you say, if you vote a man and put a man that you trust, and he betray your trust, he lick up your trust, he start to persecute you, he start to punish you.
I'll run him out. I get rid of him. Come out my house.
The people in this country running out Rowley?
They pay back.
No. And my question is, the people in this country running Rowley, they running Rowley with only talk.
Nah, they will run him this time.
With talk.
Nah, boy.
Cocky eyed. When they go run him?
Telling you.
How much months again before they run him?
They just
2025 you're talking about?
You just had to stay connected and unite. We had to know the strategy how to unite.
Cocky.
And then we go say weak is the PNM.
Cocky.
Yeah.
When they go run him out? How much years from now?
But that's what I'm saying. We need to get this thing down now.
Cocky. But we begging them on this radio station night and day. We begging them that we shut down the country.
All right, let me
we
invite
begging
them.
Wait. We begging them, shut down your constituency, shut down the area where you live in. Don't put yourself in harm's way. You live in Barataria, shut it down. You live in Sawa, shut it down. You live in Caledonia, shut it down. You live in Beatum, shut it down. You live in Lady Young, shut it down. You live in on the priority bus route, shut it down.
All right.
You live in Labre, shut it down. You live in Sipa, shut it down.
Yeah.
Anybody shutting down anything? But guess what? When you hear them calling, you're sure, well, tomorrow, please go, they're shutting down.
Yeah.
When you hear them talk on social media, when you see how they're texting, Rowdy had to go now. Already what? To drink your water and mind your business? That way you ready for?
So then we
It's only talk.
Yeah. All right.
It's only talk.
Nah, this time it's not
Cocky,
talk.
people
Rowley going.
Cocky, people enjoying what Keith Rowley is doing.
Not this time.
This is the only country that people will sit down, lie down, and take what our government giving them. Let me tell you something. No part of the world, what this government doing could happen, and people will do what Trinidad are doing, taking it. No part of the world. Any other part of the world, people don't stand up, march up, protest up, and demand up that we have to go. We only full of talk here, boy. Right. We full of talk. We is gangsters for each other. We is bad man for each others. We everything for we neighbor. But the government could rub what they want in your mouth and tell you it's butter. And watch. When you smell it, you know it's not butter, and you're saying, yeah, it tasting like butter. That's how wicked is to themselves. That's how wicked is. Because you could never tell me that in this country, a government seize employment, a government take away your rights to work, a government take away your manhood, a government take away your womanhood, and yet to the end of the day, this government still doing as they want, and Rowley could come and tell her, don't J the thing. Boy, take the call and let me rest myself. Welcome, caller.
Hi, Victor Robert.
Yes, sir.
Jeffrey.
Yes.
Corky.
Yeah, good evening.
RG. Canada calling.
Yes, sir.
I just have one question, buddy. This racist thing going on and all the thing. Whenever, from the first election, where it was with Eric Williams, and who was the opposition for him? And the opposition at that time that caused it was going on forever. And up to now, that is what. So wherever party come up against PNM, they're going to be Indian party. You understand? So that's my only thing for tonight, because this thing, and please, let me talk more about this Paria people, with the 4 people who died. It's a hurting thing, man. That up to now, that's hurting me. That, but nothing going on with this thing, man. Okay.
Thank you, caller.
Indian party. Is UNC an Indian party?
Well, I understand what you mean.
Okay.
I understand what you mean. And let me just add this to that.
Yeah.
The reality in this country. The reality in this country. The UNC came out of the bowels of the East Indian people.
Right.
So in local twang, in local words, people will always refer to the UNC as the Indian party, just as they will refer to the PNM as the African party. You can't get away from that. That is so. Now, while that may be so,
right,
the fact remains that as time goes on, there is development and there is expansion.
Yeah.
So the UNC, even though which may be founded, which was founded by Basdeo Pandey,
right,
who is an East Indian. As time goes on, the UNC have expanded. The UNC have opened the doors to whosoever will let them come. All right? Good. The PNM strategized from inception because the PNM know that in order to win an election back then, they also needed the East Indian people.
Yeah.
And that is why Eric Williams, from Eric Williams coming right up the road, they had integrate the East Indian people into certain levels at that time of the PNM.
All right.
There were certain levels. There's a level that you could have reached.
All right.
And if what I'm saying is not true, then Kamaluddin Mohammed at one time would have been the prime minister of this country. Take the call.
All right.
We lost that. We'll get it back. So to the end of the day, I think we had to take a break, Corky.
Yeah.
Let me take the break and we'll come back. I know we'll be past it up at the hour here.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television MCTV, bringing you back where you belong. Part of the Rhythms Communications Network. To advertise with us, call 218-7820.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, we have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655. Or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Jules, on Late Nights with Jules, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV, 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human. douglAR Radio is now on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Anil Roberts, bringing you the facts on politics and up-to-date information. Also taking your calls on 218-7762. douglAR Radio on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Get ready for the revolution. What you say now?
Sponsored by Royal Castle.
This season of Lent, get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Marsha Walker. Join me on U975, Hot Like Pepper, and douglAR Radio every Friday for Fire Friday. Every Friday when we, the UNC women, bring the heat. 6:15 p.m. every Friday. UNC women bringing the heat with Marsha Walker. Fire Friday. Friday. Friday.
Victor Roberts.
Koki, where you get that one? Where you get that one, Koki, boy? That one shocked me, you know. So coming back to the thing now, you see the thing go get hot here. Let me tell you something. We practice in this country what we call base politics. What is base politics? Base politics is where you see.
Nah, comment it now, man.
What is it based on? What is it?
Them subject and them
Is it base like a base?
Them
or?
subject Koki.
Yeah.
Does
No, well,
paint you in green, you know.
You
But
see,
yeah, but let me comment it.
People need to be educated, man. Yeah.
We practice base politics. So what happened is that we do what we do to attract we base. Now, why telling you won't get that nowhere?
Right.
Right.
I get it here.
We do what we do to attract we base. Right. Nothing is wrong with your base. Nothing is wrong with your base. So I'm going to break it down some more. It come like you is a goalkeeper, right, Corky?
Right.
But you have your supporters.
Yes.
So anywhere you go, that support team goes with you. That is
Yeah.
your base.
Right.
Right? That is your base. Now, the difference with politics and sport, as I use football as the springboard.
Yes.
While you have your base as a goalkeeper, the day you hear a dotish goal score on you is bacchanal.
All right.
Your base start to say, see you let we down. But they were just still,
Yeah.
The next game, you do worse. Come like the Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Come like the West Indies. You know what happening? Very, very soon, nobody is supporting you no more. Your base gone. Now, you can't get that in politics.
How so?
If you used to get that in politics, you feel already that be in power now.
Oh.
If you used to get that behavior in politics, Rowley would not be in power now.
So just we apply football inside
Right,
there?
so here what happened. So the PNM base,
Yeah.
the PNM base holds on to Keith Rowley. Now, while they may not like Keith Rowley, while Keith Rowley is the biggest disappointment to them, while Keith Rowley is the worst thing that happened to them, you know what they do? They will hold on to Keith Rowley because of party. Well, let me break down that further. But why would you hold on to a party that diminish your life, that send you down the poverty line, that take away your jobs, that take away, crash your educational system, your healthcare system in a mess, crime out of control, your utilities going through, you can't get your pension, you can't get your CDAT drugs, you can't get everything going, property tax coming, gas price coming, but why would you still hold on to that cookie? So let me help you to understand. You're holding on to that simply because that is what you consider to be your people. You see, I take away party and I put people now. I remove the word party from there now and I replace it with people. So you're holding on to that because that is your people. But why will you hold on to your people after they continue to do all these ills to you? All right. So you're holding on to that because you consider that as your culture now. Your culture.
So we put culture in politics.
But that is what Eric Williams did. Eric Williams make the PNM the African man culture, Corky. So they hold on to that despite the sufferation, the punishment, the whatever it is. It is a case where after coming out of slavery, what did the African people had to hold on to? They had absolutely nothing to hold on to. And therefore, Eric Williams capitalized on a situation. And capitalizing on that situation, formulating this party, giving the people hope that this is their refuge.
All right. Oh, so they never really get nothing then. They still continue to get nothing. And let's have it.
This is all your own. Eric Williams say, look, this is yours.
So sell we a bag of air then.
Right. So what the people do, is holding on to that, making that their culture, come through the rank and file with all. Take the call. We will continue.
All right.
Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good day, sir.
Cascade here.
Cascade, what happening?
Yes, man. Don't mind them. Guys are mixed and want to tell me. Indian is the UNC and PNM is the African. Guys are mixed. If all you want that, throw all the Indian out the PNM. Throw all the Indian out the PNM. Because I know that is a myth. They want to divide and rule.
True.
So they give me that to swallow. But we don't want that pill no more. Let me give you something what happened to me today in the Cascade area. A little girl called me. She said, Father, I wanted to train me as a counselor. I said, what? She said, a counselor. I said, why? I want to go up for a counselor, and they say, you is the man who know the whole runnings of that political arena. I said, so who you want to go up for? The PNM. I said, they send you behind me. They see if you could milk me. I said, well, what's happening? I am training no dove to fly out in my cage. You hear? And I can't eat when I'm done. Let them bring their own fowl. They eat their own corn. They can't eat my corn in my yard. I ain't taking my corn where I have to eat to feed them.
Correct.
And she get on in a kind of way when I know it's the proxy to come behind me. Because they know we're going to take place. I want them to tell me where the funds gone. The minutes of the URP still there in the URP office on the Region 2. Desmond Aram was the man who started Julian Trace Road. I want them to tell me, where the money for Julian Trace Road, light and water gone. McIntosh must tell me the same thing. Sherwin Jones must tell me the same thing. They had to say where the money for that road gone. Thank you.
Thank you, Cascade. So what happens there is that they capitalize on that opportunity. You notice something? You notice when Keith Rowley came into power. A matter of fact, before he came into power, what he utilized to get the support that is necessary. He started to paint the UNC as the devil.
All right.
He started to paint the UNC as the devil. He went so far to say, hey, I received information in my mailbox where these people plan to kill a journalist. So he painted a picture of the UNC being the devil itself. Right. Added to that, you look at every given opportunity that the Rowley administration, I can't use the word get, but used. They used to paint that portrayal of the UNC today as the devil and the devil advocates, or the devil angels. So they identify each member, targeting each member one by one, painting them with a brush that signifies evil, that signifies corruption. They take the time and they stencil that painting, and they prepare that painting, and every opportunity that comes to them in any public discourse or any public information, they paint the picture of the UNC being the devil. They sell that to the public.
All right.
They sell that, and they sell it in the most vile and evil manner. They sell it in a manner classifying without saying the Indian. That is how they paint that picture. So they use phrases and they will infiltrate words inside of there that will demonstrate the negative connotation about a human being and even the class and race. So you will notice they will craftedly send the UNC and them people. What is them people? What does them people signifies within that sentence?
I always hear that.
The UNC
them
and
people.
them people.
Yeah.
That them in people inside there will signify the race.
Yeah, it's in Indian people.
That is how they portray it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Them people.
If you look at them on the other side of what? The other side of the African. That is the message that is being signaled and sent out.
But you have Indian people in your party.
Right, good, but just so we come in there. I tell you before, Eric Williams had to capitalize and use some of the East Indian people in order to pull the election off. You couldn't just have an African party with only African people, Koki. What you would eventually do is set up yourself for anarchy. So coming back to the point.
Yeah.
So they send that message. Every time a election and even to the build-up, they will send that message out there. The UNC and them people on that side. Sending the message to the African rank and file that they are either corrupt, they are inferior, they are not of us, they are different from us, they are them. And on this side is we.
Divide and rule.
Right. So you're coming to the point. That is the whole game. But I'm breaking it down as small as I could.
So then PNM thing, when I say great as the PNM, it means divide and rule.
Exactly. But added to that, Corky, added to that, if you are to examine the Prime Minister speech on any given time, when the Prime Minister will say, I am a proud black man.
My gosh. Yeah.
What would that send? What message did that send to the African community?
It means to say, I stand up here for all of you.
Not only that.
African.
Not only that.
Yeah.
So Kamala Prasad is not a black woman.
No, well, the way how African people think it, they see
Right.
it as African black people.
Right.
And yeah.
That is the message that the Prime Minister
Yeah.
would send.
Yeah.
I am a proud black
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah.
he sent that message to us, the African people.
Yeah.
He sent that message separating us from them.
Right.
That is what that message do.
So that is our,
So even while people may call and say, when I discuss that and I talk that, they dividing the country, that is just old talk. That is just foolishness. That is just foolishness because this is the game that is being played from the top. Now, coming back to that, why would the government strategically place African people in certain positions? Let me help you again with that.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the president, we will place a African. In terms of the Chief Justice, we will place a African. In terms of the DPP, we will place a African. In terms of the Commissioner of Police, we will place a African. Why? Now somebody will come in and say, but Gary Griffith was not African. Gary Griffith was used for a purpose that was not accomplished. And that is why he's there no more. Right? Like we don't fool ourselves.
Yeah.
You could get the facts. You could get it anytime right here.
Right.
So the fact remains is this. While the caller from Canada speaks of the Indian party, and I tell you, I understand what he said. It is a fact in this country that this is what is utilized to stimulate a base. And when that base...
When you say a base, a party. It's a base, a party.
Right, the party base.
You're right.
Right. When that base is stimulated, so in every failure with Keith Rowley, every time a failure occur, he will come out and stimulate the base. Every time he feels like he losing traction and he losing support, he will come out and stimulate the base. He will come out, he will say things that will catch the base. You think Rowley using those, what we could consider as naive languages, to attract the 30% upper class people? No, that is not for them. That language that is being utilized by Keith Rowley is to connect with the ground troops,
the low masses,
to connect with the man on the ground,
right,
to connect with the man that he will use, to connect with the man that he have to utilize to stay in power. So that is why you'll say, "Oh, Jack, this."
Yeah, that's why it's put into a little kind of joke thing and a wine thing. So all of them started whining and saying,
right.
Hey,
so that is why you'll hear
okay.
the Fares, and everybody going with it. You will hear the whoever, and everybody will run with that, and everybody will clap. They will clap every time Rowley get on like an idiot. The people will clap. They enjoy that. They are excited. Yes, your Rowley deal with them. Your Rowley deal with them.
Yeah.
That is what you're hearing on the street, you know. Boy, you sure Rowley dealing with them. We care about them. That is what you will get on the street. So Rowley will capitalize and utilize this kind of behavior to attract a certain category of people. Now, what is sad within all that? We will expect that kind of behavior will be condemned. We will expect, as a prime minister, that kind of behavior will never show its face in the public domain, because when that behavior show its face in the public domain, it represent Trinidad and Tobago. Every time the prime minister gets on like an idiot, it represents Trinidad and Tobago. It doesn't represent Keith Rowley. It represents the country.
So people seeing Trinidad and Tobago as what junk kind of people. Look at all again on the prime minister getting on and the whining thing.
Right. So when the prime minister behave in that way, while he have to behave to attract that group, because he already started lost support from the top group.
Right.
So since he lost his support from the top group, he have to activate that group below. And in order to activate that group below, you cannot come and speak parliamentary language to attract that group. You have to speak that kind of language. So he will use phrases, and he will act as a comedian, and he will captivate the attention of those on the ground who, because of pressure, starting to sway away from the behavior and the support of the PNM. He will captivate that group by this type of idiotic behavior.
So then if they check themselves, they will say, look at what you do this carnival. They build a cage for little whining, and they didn't give all no carnival.
Right. He don't care about that. He don't care. Listen, man, Corky, an election is coming. A general election is coming, Corky. So the prime minister have to now behave to save his neck, because you know why? Some of the top brass, inside the PNM already starting to kick against the Keith Rowley administration.
They'll kick some more.
Right. So what happening with him now is that he is now holding on to the same people who he punishing. So he tapping them on one side, and then he will sap some limocol on the same spot. So he hit them bow here, and then he rub some coconut oil, and he said, "Don't take it on, man. Yeah, don't take it on."
That small thing.
Yeah, that small thing, and that is what is happening right now. So when you look at the comments that you will get at any given behavior, now there is also the propaganda machine of the PNM, and the propaganda machine, they are geared to continue to send that message. So When these lives is going on, like I am speaking here now, they are already on this live. And they will be spewing the propaganda to swear those followers who already start to move away. Now in my case, what they could say about me, nothing more than what they are accustomed to saying.
If a song let's go, so ain't got nothing on me.
Welcome, Paula.
Yes.
Good night, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Good night.
I listened to you, Mr. Roberts. But they say everything starts with the first footstep. You know, if you don't mind me changing your topic, if you don't mind. You know, Barack Jackson used some words against, no, not against, but the wasted of our oil money and thing in Trinidad, and they don't want Guyana to end up like that. And he talked about the treatment. Well, one of the journalists asked him a question over there about the airport, because they say get trouble in airport throughout the world. And he said the worst was Trinidad and Tobago, because when the people come back and tell them what they went through here.
Yeah.
Right? I'm from Sam. I born and grew in Sam. I live in Central now.
Okay.
And I know. Nobody had to tell me that when Burnham was there. They pull out a woman and she's son from under a bed, screaming, please don't send me back, I have nothing there. They send them back. That is what the man was talking about, what Eric Williams and them do here. That is what you say just now. But they put people in place like the DPP and them to do things for them. They had the police in place doing it for them. To these people, they were not helping them. And then the man said that the one PNM man called a station, I don't want to bring it on the program, but he was saying, the regular PNM, a stooge. He said, Guyana have 3-point-something billion dollars. Guyana never borrowed the money from Trinidad and Tobago. Eric Williams give direct the money to Burnham to do the people that. Half of the people that were splitting all over the country, Eric Williams was giving them money to do that. And then while we looking down at Guyana, down so on the west, down in the east, 125,000 people, Jamaican, Bajan, Grenadian come here to vote for them, and they give them house in Lady Young Road.
Correct.
They give them house in Lady Young Road, and when these people get accustomed to Trinidad and they go around, they pay penal to buy Polari, they laugh at we because they only have our house and we live in a concrete house.
Yeah.
And that thing you say about Kamaluddin Mohammed, the rank and file, so Ellis Clark say it. When you hold a meeting with them, he tells Sajruddin Mohammed that he could ask him, he's still living in a program Sajruddin to carry on. So Ellis Clark tell him that the PNM rank and file, this country, PNM ain't ready for no Indian Prime Minister. Tell them that, so what you're talking there is true. And then it have people coming on radio station now, but it's just say yeah, straight. Huh?
Yeah.
They're coming on radio station playing host, and when they couldn't get the message, the race message, to who couldn't pick up quick, they used to go house to house and tell them, oh, they will let them Indian rule all, yeah? Them corrupt up to today, they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then what I'm telling you, it's have a radio station, fella named Williams. I could call him name?
Nah, don't call him name.
All right.
Yeah.
But he was part of it with Valley and them. They used to go in people's place. Don't let them Indian come there and do that. The same thing they do with the Calcutta ship. And now they come in and saying, let me get together. I have no problem. Let me get together. But you shouldn't leave nothing against the PNM because you was a big man, not a child, and you know what you was doing is wrong. Go in the crowd and fold your hand, give me your vote. But don't tell me nothing about, you call your coward, come out and push back and all kind of crap. Look at yourself what you used to do. Have a nice night, bro.
Thank you, Paula.
What?
You see, Koki, I am telling you, when I come here and talk, brother, I give you the facts. I ain't giving you what I feel or what I think. You know what I'm telling you? Yeah. And this is exactly what is happening in the country. So while on the outside, there is a level of unity between us, when it comes to the political landscape, there is where the obsession of race that's coming right at that political landscape. Now, be all that as it may, how are we to fix that?
That is what I want to know.
How are we to fix that? And I won't tell you tonight.
Wait a minute, man.
I won't tell you tonight.
Wait a minute, man.
How are we to fix that, Corky? I won't tell you that tonight.
So when I go home, I think I fix boy.
I go tell you. Don't worry, I go tell you.
All right.
Corky, let me tell you something.
Yes.
If you sit down and study this country, spend some time looking at the political structure of this country, you could know, you could have a clear understanding why we are in this condition. And coming back to the caller who said he not blaming Keith Rowley, and I tell you, I support him on this occasion.
Not blaming Rowley.
We are in this position, Corky, not because, Corky, of Keith Rowley being the Prime Minister.
PNM then. PNM, we have to blame them. Because the PNM doing
you see how quick you make it out for yourself?
PNM party doing all that.
You see how quick you could answer? You know, don't stay here and tell me you ain't know and you play and you ain't understanding. It's either that or you're connecting them dots real good.
What trouble is this? Why get myself
That
into?
is the problem. The problem is not Keith Rowley. The problem is the PNM and the PNM policies. That is where the problem lies.
Whoever in power, in government, the
you could
Prime Minister.
You could bring who you want.
That is where the great is the PNM.
You could bring who you want. The structure of the PNM will never change.
This is what we do.
Let me tell you what will change. The leaders will change. The members of parliament will change. But the structure of the PNM will not change. Now, that is our next deadly topic.
Boy.
The structure of the PNM. It is not being prepared by the same so-called African people who lead in the PNM. Boy, Corky, do I get hot here tonight? I'm taking this program real cold tonight. Hey, Corky.
Yes.
The structure of the PNM, it is not being prepared by those who lead the PNM. The structure of the PNM is outside. The structure of the PNM, it is outside of those who lead the PNM. So any leader comes and sit on the chair as leader of the PNM, it will be the same results. Corky, the results of the PNM have never changed, you know. Let me tell you what changed. In some cases, some of the leaders spread a little finance up to a certain level. That is all. But the policies of the PNM never change. The policy of the PNM will never change, Corky. Because those individuals who sit as leaders of the PNM, they are placed there for a purpose. Let me tell you something. I want we to have a discussion on some time very soon on the Angus Young, the Stuart Young, the Father Young, and them who ain't there yet. I want us to have, and you will understand from the financial institution come right back that there was individuals placed in strategic positions to maintain control because they did not trust the behavior and the loyalty of Keith Rowley.
My gosh.
Corky, I could go down some road. I could go down some road, Corky. That's, let me tell you something. It's life and death, you know. Take this call. Take this call. Let me take the call. Welcome, caller.
Mr. Victor, you see how you're going on the road? positive. PNM have the voters about 200 or 300,000 full. And you see, when we come to divide, look like, all right, push them back. They're coming out in the south area to campaign. They wouldn't come down Diego Martin, they wouldn't come down west, they wouldn't come down east-west corridor. They're coming out, and you see, it could change. There is no safe seat in Trinidad and Tobago. Eh? The young people, this is the educated set in the touch world. And when they come out and vote, the old people, they outweigh us. The young people have to change it and make it better. And if I have to say, between anybody that I saw in election, you see Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, she has done great things for the young people. She educating them, and she was educating them, and she giving them every single thing they wanted. She didn't take taxpayers' money and push it in she back pocket and walk out. She gave it to them. And we, the people, if we can make ourselves useful, we make ourselves useless. Don't blame no politician, but blame what Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa has done from babies to the elderly. And she make each and every single citizen happy in this whole thing. Have a blessed and wonderful night to one and all.
Thank you, Kola. Let me deal with that point one time as it comes. Right? So, Kola, you're correct. The leader of the opposition, being Prime Minister, brought education, and as always say it, to the top. And not only to the top, but to the front burner. To the front burner. But Kola, I want you to think about something.
Yeah.
And probably tomorrow you could call in and tell me. Why did Keith Rowley stop, shut down, break down, lock down the expansion of the educational program in Trinidad? Think about that. And while you're thinking about that, caller, why would Keith Rowley institute to the young people in this country that they're free to plant 4 trees or 3 trees and have 30 grams?
To keep them
And have 30 grams, caller. I want you to look at those 2 things for me, please. One, why would Keith Rowley shut down, broke down, closed down, locked down, mash up the educational expansion program of Kamala Prasad Bisesa? And after finishing that, why did he institute 4 trees and 30 grams for the people of this country?
Smoke this and stay stupid.
Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Yes, it's me again. I forget to tell you, Mr. Roberts. Yeah, there is a sketch that Nelson Mandela wrote when he was in prison, and he was going to put it in a book. Poor fellow didn't get time to do it. He died. And in that script, he said the only way you could use race is when you have the people who believe in race. If you come and put race to me, and I say, listen, Mr. Roberts, take that and you know what you could do with it. But if I believe you, and for years you just had to come and tell me about Calcutta ship, and what kind of other stupid talk about what the banana and all kind of thing, and you win an election, you should know who believe in race. So that's why PNM is get to use it. Use race. Because, and there's also a book, The Untold Story, by Balgobin Ramdeen, that Leela Ramdeen, the girl who was writing the Guardian, her father, Balgobin Ramdeen, he was an MP. And he said that Winston Mahabir and Kamaluddin was on a platform in Marabella, and Eric Williams licking up Indian people, and he said they were moving on his seat like when I had Master Bencher. So you see, they didn't have to have no shame, although it had Indian people, they could be there or not, they say use the race. Because they know the people believe it. Go on, and I sure you know Sadruddin Mohammed. All right, Mr. Robert, you call him and ask him what's the hell is crack to him about race, and you go, here. Have a nice night.
Thank you, caller. Caller does research. Let's give me information. Don't worry, you're on point. You're on
get
point.
back about the weed trees
You're
part
on
and
point.
why give them, yeah.
But Corky, why would a man shut down the expansion of the educational system and then shortly thereby introduce 4 trees and 30 grams of marijuana? Why? Why would he do that? You see?
Yes.
You see, people, hey, hey Lord, I don't know what you're doing to me, but
You have a caller there.
I take the call. Welcome, caller.
Welcome. Good evening, sir. Koki and Victor, everybody.
Yes,
I want to give Koki a little point. When time for election, you notice they'll be doing work all over the place. Right? And those who have nothing to grasp onto, they're getting a little opportunity. So that is one of the points that, okay, you don't have nothing, you get a little something now, right. PNM give we go and vote for PNM because we get a little handful now. But that don't last for long. And to check, like how Koki going in the pothole and he damaged tire. If he pass back there now, that hole might patch up. That's all.
I hope.
Anyway.
Thank you, caller.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how to put it.
All right, thank you.
Later.
Thank you. I hope when you bossy tire was in a PNM area, because if it's a PNM area, I'm sure it go get fixed.
Hey, I traveling to work these days, the car pack up, it mash up. Yeah.
Corky.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
The Prime Minister give instructions that the Labrick Community Center and the Point 14 Fire Station must be completed within the next 6 months.
What? What is the reason to speed up and answer?
All right, let me watch and see. Listen what I'm telling you. The Prime Minister give instructions.
Yes.
That the Labrick Community Center
Labrick.
and the Point 14 Fire Station must be completed by all costs within the next 6 months.
So is the first time it's getting these facilities, or
they hang up? They started working on them, start, but
so you
anyhow,
want to put it in place now?
It have to finish. It starts.
All right.
But it have to finish within the next 6 months.
What is the reason for his speed
let
on it now?
me wait and see.
All right. Good.
Some people, all I tell you, election coming. That's all I say.
Oh.
That's all I say. But coming back to the point.
Yes.
We have 10 minutes.
The
Coming
weed
back to the
trees,
point.
The weed trees and the education, yeah.
Coming back to the point.
I want to find out about that.
You see,
Yeah.
Corky, it is a clear case.
Yes.
It is a clear case that the Prime Minister, the government, those who control the government, they have decided. You see, take the call.
They want people to smoke.
Welcome, caller.
Okay.
Coffee, sorry about your tire and your car, but now you have to vote.
All right.
Now you have to go and vote, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Take that one. Like the last few minutes.
Yes,
Welcome, caller.
all right, Fox, let me say it quick.
Yeah, Fox, go ahead.
The reason they don't want they shut down education like that, they want to brainwash education, make us a fool, and so we go keep voting for them to keep them in power. Thank you.
What? That's why they call it the Fox, boy.
Fox, you're on point.
As
You're on
cunning
point.
as a fox.
You're on point. So guess what? When you get the mass population, Koki, which is a sad thing,
Yes.
right now as we speak, one in every youth, one in every youth, I'm talking about young fellas, 16, 15, everybody like they just gone crazy.
But when you smoke all that weed, boy, and there are no work, boy.
Boy, Corky, let me tell you something.
You have to thief to eat.
Let me tell you something.
Because weed, when you smoke weed, is a thing that make you feel hungry. You have to eat.
Yeah.
And so on.
You used to smoke already, Corky?
Well, I experienced it, but I realized what it does to you, so I stopped.
Yeah, you started to get hungry.
Yeah, no. Besides getting hungry, it gets you ignorant.
I wonder if Jeffrey does eat plenty.
That weed, oh, Jeffrey, that weed, you get ignorant to that, you know.
Long time I used to clean it. I used to cut grass and things. I used to chop down weeds.
You're a ganja farmer.
Not only farmer, I never smoke in my life.
It's something that have you ignorant. Yeah, ignorant. And so, wait now, how come they giving the population this, boy? This thing does have you?
I feel I know where we talk with it. When you say they give them it, it's to make them in a way feel comfortable in the position that they're in.
Yeah.
Imagine you take away everything from somebody and they say, all right, hold that. It's to make them feel comfortable in the repressive state that they're in.
Smoke and do you want.
Yeah, be irate.
When I was a dog, I was a boy, you're free to smoke. Take the
trouble is this.
You have a few minutes to go. Welcome, caller.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good
Me
afternoon.
again. Cascade. You see, in the 1956, when Eric William get in power, you know what he did? He had a thing called the Marabunta riot between John on that St. Joseph Road area. He take them and carry them Caroni in the PTSD buses to beat Indian people. And when he couldn't go back because they prepare for them coming back, he opened crash program. Ask any elderly that from that area. He opened crash program because he couldn't go back. That is what we call Dude and Special Works and come back down to Lid and URP today. Is Eric Williams do that because he couldn't go back to beat the Indians and make Kamal arm himself. The same Kamal Adin Mohammed was part of the PNM patrol. Arm himself. So they call a part of Kamalville. You know Kamalville? Wrong by Kamal was Kamalville because they couldn't go back to beat Indians. That is a scar people. Indian people wear a scar up to today from the African man when Eric Williams get in power. Use the same baddest man against the same Indian people to divide and rule so he should sit down in power. And you see right now, it was the boiling pot of the 1970 uprising coming back to the 21st of April 1970. All now, you said the demonstrations through the tongue for black people. The two-press race to be recognized from being colonized by the same Eric Williams who write Capitalism and Slavery and all them books. Columbus to Castro. You know what he was doing, you know?
Of course.
Went and thief C.L.R. James' book, Inward Hunger, from England and come to Trinidad and publish it. That criminal, that I could never like the PNM. No PNM could come and tell me, it ain't no good PNM. Rowley, it ain't no good PNM. Rowley ain't no good neither. That dog with horn. Thank you.
Thank you, Cascade. So I wonder, just as how Eric Williams used Badis Maraj, I wonder if Keith Rowley go use Vasant Bharat and Boti Wari and them against their own people. Right? I wonder if it's history repeating itself. Cascade, you know my father from originally from Lavanti? My father was from John. My father was one of Eric Williams' boy. When Eric Williams started the press area, before it come to Jude and all that, was the press area. And my father was at the time, he was the area supervisor for the whole of Lavanti. All Eastern Quarry and all them Chumakak and all them areas. And them they is where my father used to operate. My father, Cascade, was a pan man too, you know. So, you know, if I tell you that, I know who he beat or who he beat, but my father was no easy man. Yes, son. My father, and Cascade, my father come from St. Vincent. I know if Eric Williams gave him a free pass to come to vote for him or what, but he come from St. Vincent and he settled in Lavanti. And then from Laventille, well, of course, he come across to Curep. And that's why I born in Okoki. I born in Agbe Street, Curep.
What?
Yeah, I came down south to live when I had 7 years. My first 7 years was in Tong. I used to be backward and forward in Laventille and yeah, when my father going
I come from the bush country.
Yeah. My father was a pan man.
Yeah.
He used to play Despas. He used to play Carib Tokyo.
Great.
Yeah,
I come from a place called Forward Stamina. Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Yes, good night, gentlemen. You could never compare Vasan Bharat and those other pettiness to Bharat Maharaj. I mean, he did the thing where he worked for the PNM and thing and so, but he was way ahead of them. They was like petty dog compared to him. Take care, man.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree. You're correct. Right, so we have 2 minutes, Corky. We will take that tune now. It's a tune you're waiting to play for the longest while here. We will take that tune now because... All right, well, if you want to... Well, go with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here at 6:15 tomorrow, please God. And, of course, you could call in and wish the Baptists all the best for their holidays. So, at this time, in the next 2 minutes, is a tribute to blacks. Let's look for the song now, man. Don't afraid. So, we'll not be taking any more calls. Of course, tonight, it was a hectic night. Yeah, but I trust and hope that some information reach you that will help open your understanding. So stay blessed.
The show was great. Okay.
Victor Roberts!
A startling metamorphosis occurs.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
We've been unholding in